Simplifying negative exponents, first thing we look at is each letter individually, and for example the x's in this problem here, and we find the smallest number exponent that we can find. So here's x negative 2, here's x negative 2, and here's x negative 3. So negative 3 is the smallest number. So we choose to multiply the entire equation by the positive of that negative number, in this case 3. And that will guarantee that all negative numbers for x's go away or become positive. Do the same thing for the y's at the same step. So I see a y negative 4, y negative 2, y negative 1, and a negative 2. So choose y negative 4, make it a positive 4, and now multiply this by all four things in this particular problem. When you multiply exponents that have the same base, so this x and this x, you add the exponents. So that first problem will become x to the first power, which I don't need to write. Y negative 4, y positive 4, when you add those exponents, you get y to the 0 power, which you don't need to write because y to the 0 power is 1. Bring down this minus. Start all over again. X to the third times this thing, which contains no x's, would just be x to the third. Y to the fourth and y to the negative 2, if you add those exponents, you get y squared. Now go down to the bottom left. x3 and x negative 2 is a single x. Y negative 1 with a y4 is y3. Bring down that minus and start all over again. These x's all cancel, they become 0, so we just have y to the negative 2 times 4, which is y squared. So everything that's in here has no negative exponents, and now we begin the factoring process. First thing we do in the numerator is pull out an x. When you pull an x out of an x, it'll leave a 1. Bring down that minus, take an x away from there, it's x squared, y squared. On the bottom, we can factor out a y squared from both of those, which would leave xy minus 1. Look for anything else to factor. The factoring on the top will continue to binomials. We have a perfect square there, so front terms have to multiply to be 1, so that's a 1 and a 1. We have xy at the ends of both. That's where we get our x squared, y squared. We have a plus and we have a minus to guarantee that the middle terms will fall out. Bring the bottom over, and now look for anything that may cancel. The 1 minus x squared and the x squared minus 1 simplify to a negative 1, so the remaining fraction with a negative out front is our solution. And there you have it. Okay, here is problem number 2 for you to try. Write that down. Press pause if you need more time, because here is the solution. Press pause if you need more time. Otherwise, here's problem number 3. And here is its solution. And that's negative exponents. Oh, pardon me for having this off to the side. I hadn't crossed these off, and I left myself too much room. So this should be centered on the fraction. Don't freak out just because I marked it way over there to the left.